Happy holidays everyone, and Merry Christmas if you celebrate. I know this is a bit late, but I wanted to do a little Lego Castle Christmas special. I built a couple snowy winter themed mocks along with some fun medieval twists on classic Christmas characters. To start things off, I had to make the face of Christmas himself, Santa Claus. I used a classic Santa torso as the base to keep him instantly recognizable, then gave him a sword, shield, and some shoulder armor to fit the castle aesthetic. The torso blends in nicely with these Lion Queen legs, and overall I think he turned out pretty well. Now what would Santa be without his elves? For these two I used Forestman torsos, which work perfectly since the colors already feel very Christmassy. I gave one an original elf hat, but since I didn't have a second, I gave the other some hair with elf ears instead. I also equipped them with weapons to match the whole Battle Santa vibe, and I love how the group looks together. Of course, after Santa, I had to make Mrs. Claus. This part combo ended up being almost identical to the 2012 version aside from the red arms and fur collar, because she really didn't need a lot of modifications. I initially considered making Mr. and Mrs. Claus dwarves, since the Americanized version usually makes them short and round, but I wanted them to stay visually taller than the elves, plus it finally gave me an excuse to use this otherwise very niche dress piece. Taking a short break from the minifigures, I wanted to show this small mock of a couple lion knights who are snowed in while keeping watch. Technique-wise, it's nothing crazy, but I really like the atmosphere. Just a couple of soldiers huddled by a fire in the dead of winter. I kept the rampart narrow to give it a slightly claustrophobic feel, and there's even snow along the edges that the fire doesn't quite reach, which helps sell that cold, isolated vibe. Jumping back to minifigures, I made a Christmas-themed knight that uses a mix of red, green, and white. I wanted him to look fancy and almost a bit pompous, so I used this decorated Knight's Kingdom torso paired with a gold visor and some very over-the-top side plumes. The cape is from Minifig Realms, and I'll be making a full review of their capes very soon. Next, I tried making a medieval version of one of my favorite Christmas characters, Krampus. I originally used the CMF fawn hair since the color matched the fur really well, but the yellow ears completely threw it off. I also didn't have a brown tail to match, so he's not perfect, but honestly, I still really like how he turned out. For another twist on a classic character, I made an orc version of the Grinch. The Grinch is usually depicted with a really wide smile, and that immediately made me think of the crocodile heads from Chima. I gave him a stolen teddy bear to make the reference clearer, and I'm very happy with how this one came together. I've got one more mock to show, and this one was actually built about a month ago, although I went back and added snow to make it feel more winter themed. It's a 12x12 vignette of a few figures walking through a city street, originally inspired by a D&D campaign that I'm currently playing. The build itself is pretty simple, a basic facade and a small slice of street, but the snow completely changes the mood. I like how the figures look like they're bundled up, trying to stay warm. I definitely wasn't as consistent with uploads as I wanted to be in 2025, but for 2026, you'll be seeing a lot more content. I'll have an announcement video in late January or early February going over my new schedule and some fun plans for the channel, so stay tuned. If you enjoy LEGO Castle content and you haven't already, consider subscribing. Also, let me know in the comments which figure was your favorite, and as always, thank you for watching.